Pete Samuels, I'm the executive producer for Until Dawn.
So we're here at the PlayStation Experience in Las Vegas. Talk a little about the demo that people were able to play here for the first time.
Sure. Well, when we announced the game at Gamescom just a few months ago, we showed a certain type of gameplay within Until Dawn. And we got a great reception. We loved the reception that we got, and it was very much quite slower paced and exploration and tension. But what we did say to people out there was there's a wide variety of gameplay within Until Dawn, so this time we've taken the opportunity to come and show something that is very different in terms of the gameplay. It's got much faster paced, snappier decision making, testing your responses and judgment, but still the level of kind of branching and diversity and story changing, but with, as I say, within a much quicker environment, a much more stressful, if you like, environment, because it's pretty much a chase. And the object is to escape, and I think some people will play it here today and they'll escape, and some people won't, and that'll be great, and people will get caught in different places and do different things. And I think one of the other big things about it is that, which the demo itself won't show, is the outcome of this particular section will determine other paths through the game later on, and the rest of the game will play out very differently depending how people play through this scene.
How do you guys create the pacing in this game, and how does Hollywood, maybe from horror TV and movies, influence how you guys have paced the game?
Well, one of the big parts of this we call our action sequences, and the way we design action sequences is to kind of be adrenaline fueled and exciting, but still cinematic in their cameras and their pace. That's a challenge to do under total player control, particularly with the cinematic cameras. So what we do is we throw in very frequent, very regular choices and combinations of choices to keep the player engaged, involved in the story, and changing the story even through a very fast sequence of events. And it takes some doing, it takes some user testing, and obviously we do a lot of that to make sure that we tighten them up and keep them exciting. And we use scientific monitors to take readings of galvanic skin response for fear and pressure and so on. And so we apply some science to it, but only on top of what we feel is right, and then we tweak based on that. And that's kind of how we achieve the pace that we get.
It almost sounds a little bit like Clockwork Orange when you're doing some of those testing, I guess, right?
Well, I don't know about that. It's not painful. There's no pain involved.
Can you kind of set up this demo and set up the storyline for those who aren't familiar with Until Dawn?
Sure. Well, at the start of this demo, Samantha, who's played by Hayden Panettiere, is relaxing in the bath, and she's disturbed by an intruder. When she leaves the bathroom, the friends that were there previously in the lodge are nowhere to be found. So she goes searching for them, and then things happen.
Can you talk a little about the horror elements that you guys have teased in both this demo and in the Gamescom?
So in the Gamescom demo, there was a lot of, or a number of scares, frights, if you like, that went down very well, and we watched people playing it and jumping out of the skin and dropping their pads and stuff, so they kind of work, but they're only one vehicle. And the other vehicle we used quite extensively in the Gamescom demo is that terror of waiting for something to happen and the tension of waiting for something to happen. And again, watching people playing with one hand and a hand over their face was really cool for us, because that's what we were trying to create. This one is much more about fast-paced survival. It's about escaping from a masked killer, and she's under some stress when she's running through there, clearly, and she's quite vulnerable because the only thing she's wearing is a towel, and so she's probably going. I know that calls on some of the tropes in horror movies quite a lot, and we do that quite deliberately. And throughout the game, we give you situations that you feel familiar with, and then rip you out of those, rip you out of that comfort of these familiar scenes. So that's one of the vehicles that we use.
What do you think the key is to creating the boogeyman that will stand out, like the Jason or the Michael Myers that we've seen in Hollywood over the years?
I think there's a number of things. One of the things for us is not showing too much too soon. It's the imagination is more terrifying than what we can put on screen, and of course we have to show that, and we have to ramp that terror up by showing things. But not quite knowing who he is, not quite knowing why he's doing what he's doing, all of that creates that terror. And with Until Dawn, it's about unraveling that story and being terrified of that story, and being terrified of finding out why this guy's doing what he's doing, and what it's going to lead to. But I think a lot of it is creating that mystique around the boogeyman, and not quite knowing why he's there and what he's doing.